is having
Alright,
one answer,
what's up gamers? We are
and just
back
go
with
for it.
another
It's
reaction
common to feel
video
when picking a
slash
character that you pick them up
commentary
because
slash
they
content
have that
vulturing
one
of
move.
another
Why did you pick
Bumbles McFumbles
Darian in
video. This
first
one is
place?
called
I wanted to
One
play
Move Wonders in Fighting
Gisax.
Games. I
Why'd
sure
you pick
wonder who can
Cyrax in
fit that
MK1? Want
description,
to use the
right?
net. These moves
So yeah,
will
as usual, I won't be watching the whole thing. If you want to watch the whole thing, just watch the video. It will be linked in the description as usual. But we'll skip ahead to I know what y'all want to be here for,
entire
and
kit
that
click
is
together and serve as the
the
backbone
mountain.
for
So I
an
guess like there's
entire
like a
playstyle.
MVC. I guess like
That's
yeah,
giving
kind
a
of
bit
corridor
too
makes
much
sense here.
credit to the guys we're talking about
A
today,
lot of MVC too
though.
actually. Oh,
Say
there's the
they
Kinnikuman. All right,
have a
let's beep that. Let's go.
bot. Show them what you're made.
Oh, that was
We're looking for
there we go. All right, let's see it. I mean, the thumbnail has like mountain, right? So we know who it's gonna be about. So let's go peep this.
we're looking for somebody who can stand on their own. This time, they'll actually be the one doing most of the fighting. The Muscle Grand Prix 2 discussions will continue until sales improve. Am I using this game as a means to get people to read Kinnikuman and watch Perfect Origin?
Big
Or
props,
am I
big
talking
shout
about
outs
it
to
because
Bumbles
I
McFumbles
genuinely love the
for
game
just,
for its
you know,
integration of
helping to
wrestling
push
into a 3D game,
the
as
MGP2
well as
agenda.
its
Like,
approachability
I
for
feel like I don't say it
newcomers.
enough, but I do
Bananas
appreciate it a
don't
lot.
have to be yellow or long. It can be two things at once.
So yeah.
Ever heard of killing two birds with one stone?
All right.
Speaking of stones,
Yep,
the mountain.
there he is.
Now we've talked about before that Muscle Grand Prix 2 is a pretty balanced game.
I just thought maybe at some point like give a friendly reminder to like Bumbles maybe to like stop using tournaments footage from like, oh god, 4 years ago now. And maybe like, hey, you know, maybe use one of the Trojan Olympics VODs. You know, those are kind of new and fresh and kind of cool, right? I don't know.
It has its top tiers like Kinnikuman Zebra, Kinnikuman
Yep.
Super Phoenix,
The Maxev propaganda and agenda has been winning over, I suppose.
Kinnikuman Shogun.
Yeah.
It has its low tiers like Scarface, Planet Man, and the Ninja.
Yeah.
And everybody in between can get stuff done.
Yeah.
A class
More
of
or less.
characters that almost solely inhabit the middle of the tier list are the big bodies.
Uh,
Characters like Big the Budo and Kinnikuman.
I'd say most of them are like more like low tier than like mid tier, but close enough.
Body being scattered around the mid to high bottom tiers.
Yeah.
So the
Okay,
connection
that's about right.
seems to be you're a low tier character if your name has the word big in it.
Close enough.
The only big body character who's able to break free and grasp the top tiers is Sunshine.
That's pretty accurate. Yeah, I think I've been told that I think like Max have like I've been doing like a lot of, you know, fact checking for like these videos. So I don't know how that works out, but if I think that's like what's been going on. So big shout out to Max to also like, you know, spread the word via Bumbles. Not me. I think he's running them more through Max. I think like Max is a lot more active on Twitter than I am. So yeah.
Except just as he grabs onto the cliffside, he gets his hand stomped on by the menace of MGP2, Mountain. The Mountain is one of the 7 original devil.
Okay, we're getting some of the like the lore dumps. That's pretty accurate. This is a great page to just go like, hey, look, it's Mountain. Yeah, Mountain is such a great character from like with the early art style because it's just that sure is Mountain. Yeah, it is what it is.
Basically had to cobble together a moveset out of nothing for
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Mountain's move pool in the original series was mainly just tanking hits and crushing guys.
Pretty apt
Supers
summary.
are falling on you, and super falling on you. There had to be some changes made. Mountain is not great. We've talked about a lot of the difficulties that big bodies can face in this game, and Mountain is no exception. Even having some unique problems that keep him low even for a big body.
Yeah.
Unlike a Scarface or Big the Budo, Mountain's range is pathetically small.
Well,
His nubby little arms and legs.
yeah, but like Scarface doesn't have like amazing range either, right? He has like 6XS, right? 4S? No, 6XS, like the Swallowtail, that's about it. He's like still pretty stubby. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, Mountains also really stubby, but like, we're comparing like, you know, stub versus stub. But Scarface isn't like so much better like in that department either. Budo, I guess he has like the power minus, but like that's not like amazing.
For poor pokes and leaving his moves always falling short of their target.
But yeah,
damage
no,
for
hold
those
on.
moves isn't
Oh, he didn't show the part like that thing where like Mountain can do 4A throw, but if you do it max range, like it pushes them too far that like the throw whiffs. I don't know, that was like too funny, but maybe like too nerdy, I guess.
least incredible, with a 30 damage jab and 30 damage natural combo being better than some characters' entire damage output, Planet Man. His terrible range extends to his grabs, with the range being so small that confirming into them off of stray hits that even do good stun is difficult, usually requiring a short dash, which gives the opponent a window to tech the throw and counterattack.
Okay,
that's
close
something
enough.
that the speed of the Mountain doesn't really allow for a counter to. Mountain has hefty startup on all of his moves. The quickest one is his running grab at 12 frames. But the majority
sort
of his strikes are
that doesn't really count,
frames minimum.
Yeah, but his jump to 30 frames, which is all you need.
Mid-30s. Oh, but that's nothing compared to the recovery.
Yeah, that is a big issue.
Don't ever use a move that takes the Mountain off of his feet, like his shoulder charge or drop kick. If you do, we're talking an entire 83 frames of recovery.
Yeah,
it's minus 55 on block.
Yeah.
Not like you're actually going to need to block it, though, since Mountain's short range means he's just gonna miss. Another thing
the tackle does have like some decent range. You probably don't want to still use it because if it gets blocked or whiffed, you are dead. But like it has okay, like for a Mountain move, that's like okay range.
With Scarface, aside from incredible damage with no way to properly execute it, is a lack of good supers to help with anything besides dealing damage.
I mean, super is super, right? Like, it's not like that's kind of how it is in the game.
Tool, but other than that, you have a slow punch.
I feel like I might have gassed up Mountain Roller too much because I feel like I joked that it's like, in a better world, this will be Mountain's best OTG. It's not actually a good OTG. I think like that might have gone over some people's heads, but what I'm trying to say is, in a better world, this would be his best OTG, and it's a pretty dog shit OTG. So I wish he just didn't have anything, you know. Rest in peace. I think like that was the intent of the joke, maybe like a bit too like in jokey, maybe.
Pseudo barrier projectile.
Okay, that move is good though. That move is good though. Special was kind of weird. Yeah.
That's nothing special.
Yeah.
Now, despite everything I've told you, and how it sounds like that without his damage, Mountain would be even worse than Scarface or Planet Man, Mountain is still a scourge on MGP2.
Yeah.
A character that has to be respected, feared, and played around if you're ever unlucky enough to encounter him. If Mountain is allowed to do as he wishes, there's nobody in the game that can beat him. And to
it's
do
a bit hyperbolic, but sort of.
Grab you a single time.
Okay, it doesn't insta kill you.
Well,
okay,
it's his final special move,
I'll let it talk.
6-6S.
Yep.
Ground impact. Now, projectiles are very rare in MG.
Yes, this is a good context. This is a good context actually. I really like this.
Not great.
Okay.
Either you're banking.
Okay. You know, I'll speak.
Man with debuffing toilet paper rolls. Atlantic.
All right, he says that though, but like, the more thing about Banky Man might like Banky Man's poop might be a top 5 fireball in this game, which feels really fucked up to say, but it might be a top 5 fireball in the game, right? Like if like it's really like what Ashura Man Tornado, Mountain 6-6S, I guess like that counts. Banky Man probably in there. This guy's fireball isn't getting in there. If I'm being facetious, Junkman's Needle Wall, but that's like not doesn't really count. Like Banky Man's fireball is like not bad. It's like actually pretty good. Like it being unblockable is actually like really annoying.
This with water balls that seem fine until you compare how much damage it does versus how much meter it builds for the opponent.
That's a very apt summary for that. And yeah.
And I think I've given enough examples on why you don't want to be that.
Yeah.
So what makes Mountain any different? Well, his fireball is unique. First off, it's grounded. Grounded means not only is it a little harder to judge in terms of parry windows, but it can OTG. For those who aren't familiar with the term, it means off the ground. Basically, a move that can OTG can hit even if the opponent is laid out on the ground, where most moves
okay, that wasn't guaranteed, but you know, it's good to illustrate it.
Example of OTGs in Muscle Grand Prix 2 include Phoenix's 8A or Zebra's 4-6S.
Everyone's 8A really, right? But yeah.
As along with being grounded, it's a grounded multi-hitting projectile. Ground Impact has 8 hits, dealing 30 damage each.
Is it actually 8 hits? That doesn't sound right. Is it 8 hits? It's not that many hits, is it? I mean, I'm sure like he's fact-checked because I've trusted the Bumbles to be like an actual, you know, complicated who actually like does that research, which again, massive props. But is it really 8 hits? It is 8 hits. Yeah, okay. Wow. Huh. Huh.
You're only going to be hit with about 2 of those hits,
Yes.
which means 60 damage.
Okay.
And OTG.
This might be a bit of like a notice me senpai moment, but I feel like he's like still taking a lot from like the wiki page. So I feel like indirectly I'm still kind of contributing and helping in some way. Maybe he didn't like run by me necessarily, but you know, it's from the wiki, so like by proxy, I think, right?
G ground impact hits 5 times.
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. Because it's 5 times on
That's
OTG.
a lot.
Sure
on par
is.
with most of Mountain's other supers, with the trade-off being those suck. Okay, so Mountain has one good special move. How's that so bad? Well, the most dangerous part of the move is that it has the same amount of active frames as it does recovery frames. Meaning that while the opponent is stuck in hit stun, Mountain can launch out a second ground impact, which can lead to a third ground impact, which can lead to a fourth ground impact, which for the numerically inclined cashes out to around 600 damage if everything goes off perfectly for 8 bars
Oh
of
wait,
super.
yeah, I think
That's
just the
not
supers, yeah.
counting the
Oh hey, what's up?
strikes or throw that the Mountain is using
There
to
we go.
get you
Okay,
off
so like show the
ground,
sequence.
or his other OTG options,
Right, there we go.
like 2A or Ashi Kazuchi, meaning that off of a single throw, the Mountain...
You know, massive yes, we're the new bubbles with massive respect for trying to pronounce Ashikuzushi. That is like not easy, I guess, you know, so prop for that.
Mountain can deal upwards of 700 damage.
Yep.
With the standard health being around 1,000,
Yeah.
that
Well,
means Mountain
1024,
only
but that's
has to deal
semantics.
another 300 to put down a majority of the roster.
Okay, yeah.
He's also able
That's a
to
good summary.
easily set up for this instant kill off of a teched grab.
Yes.
Since a 6
Show me the throw
grab
punish.
is about the closest thing he's got to a combo, which, would you look at that, deals 240 damage, bringing the threshold of damage needed to about 60. Aki opened their third eye
that math doesn't sound right,
and
but
played 4D
sure.
chess by making the Mountain's best combo starter the opponent failing to lift him. Do you think we can retroactively give them more money for being that clever? This setup is infamous in MGP2. Anybody caught by the Mountain just had to hope he either hadn't dealt enough damage to finish them off, or wasn't going to deal enough damage. Other than that, you were going to lose. Mountain is a character who punished sloppy or unserious play.
That's a very apt summary. I feel like Max said like fed in that.
Throw or one stray hit could lead to the loss of an entire round. This left the community in kind of a conundrum when it came to ranking him. He's not good, not even remotely, but he wins. He wins in a way that no other character does, and fighting him isn't as easy as it reads on paper. As a result, Mountain was awkwardly shoved into S tier out of acknowledgement that he was very strong in a very specific situation. In recent times, though, players like Maxev,
there we go,
again, was a great help in making this section, have gotten much more comfortable placing Mountain lower on the tier list around B tier. The reason is one that affects a lot of characters like Mountain, who only have this one move. If you know what Mountain is trying to do, just don't let him do it. Don't grab him without setup so he can't tech it.
I mean, yeah, that's probably true, right?
Mountain's neutral game is wet ass. He can't do anything against somebody who stopped his one and only plan. Mountain is really similar to a character like
Alright, I think that's the end of it. Wow, that's a really good segue, actually. But yeah, I think overall, again, it's... like, I feel like I don't necessarily completely see eye to eye with Max. Like, I definitely get where he's coming from, and I'm inclined to agree that... yeah, right. Like, I'm kind of on the same boat, but like I definitely kind of agree that like I feel like Mountain can be a bit overrated, but I'm definitely like not like all the way on to B. That's maybe a bit much, right? But you know, that's kind of Max's take, and I think like that's kind of where Bumbles is getting it from, which I think is fair. Like I don't think it's crazy. I just like don't personally agree, I guess. Like I can definitely see if, you know, as people get better, as people optimize, S maybe is a little bit high, but yeah, exactly, right? Like, I feel like MGP2 is one of those games where eventually you just have to rub up against someone, and so if you overextend, Mountain kills you, right? So I think he just like he does wreck a lot of like characters, right? Like a lot of like bad characters where like you just have to take risks. He makes one good guess, he makes one good read, one good guess, you die, right? So I feel like that alone means like it can't be like that bad. Like yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at though, right? Like I definitely, yeah, yeah. We can talk more about that for sure, right? So like again, I don't think this is meant to be like a call out. Maybe like if I'm calling someone out, it's more Max Step than Bumbles, maybe. But yeah, it's definitely. I definitely agree for the most part. I think like what the fact that you're saying is definitely accurate. Towards the end, I feel like it's a bit subjective, right? Like kind of like max self stake, which I understand but don't fully agree with. Basically, is like my summary of that. But yeah, like again, if I have to basically rank him, he like Bumble said himself, like Bumble said it, and I do agree. He's a tough character to rank because he is definitely putting him in S like does feel kind of weird in some ways because he definitely isn't like saying that he's on the same way that Shogun or Phoenix or even Zebra is insane, right? But like you do have to like we do have to acknowledge that like he is very strong and he's you know he just kills you and sometimes in this game like that's enough, right? Again, I think just not even like the whole he just to randomly throw you. I think just the fact that the like throw punishment is one thing, right? You can just like not throw him, but you know what if he just manages to squeeze in a jab on you and then he kills you off of that, right? Like that just feels kind of whack. So yeah, I don't know. I've This is a question that I've not really thought about too much more myself. So I definitely can be convinced more convincingly one direction or the other. But I think me personally, I've always just felt I definitely lean a bit. Yeah, I can definitely buy like he's not S tier because like that's a bit crazy. It's a bit maybe like misleading. Um, but I definitely won't put him like mid tier because I feel like that's also maybe a bit far, right? But that's I think I've shared my opinions about tier list discussion before in like other videos as well, so I'm not gonna get too into that. The point is, I think like Mountain is hard to say like a good character. He's a very corny character that can like definitely like, win with, but calling him good maybe is a bit difficult. Yeah, for sure, right? Like he's a character with like very clear weaknesses. I think the way I like to think about it is if we have one of those, you know what? I don't want to just stay on this screen with just Mountain and Geronimo. I'm gonna like pull up like a MS Paint maybe. Is that um this is gonna be like an awful bit that we're committed to it. Um, Basically, what I'm trying to get at is that if there's like an like like I've always loved like the fighting game like charts that are like here is like a kind of like power whoops oh god like a kind of like a power like a y-axis like power and like a x-axis that's like well rounded, and how generally characters kind of have like this like curve to it, right? As like better characters are more well rounded, right? But the way I kind of saw it is that like characters like Shogun or Super Phoenix are kind of like up here, and then Mountain is kind of like here, which is kind of like you don't see that on a lot of games, which is why I think it's kind of like feels very hard to rank him, right? Because as in like this is like the weak, strong, has flaws, well-rounded kind of like axis, if that makes sense. Um, that's kind of how I've always felt about Mountain, if that at all makes sense. Wow, this has turned into the Mountain discussion video. I wasn't planning on making this, but here we are. Goddamn, I've been baited. Um, I guess I'll close the book on that because I really don't want to spend too much time like pondering the viability and strength of fucking the Mountain. But I will add one thing that I think is really funny that I don't think that Bumbles didn't cover that I think is really a nice compliment, and that's like pulling up like the Mountain like patch notes. Um, let's go to where is he? And that's the fact that they did a lot of like a nerf from arcade to PS2. Actually, y'all can see that. A lot of like a nerf from arcade to PS2, um, and With Mountain, they actually hit him harder than most because Mikasa only got meter gain changes. Mountain actually lost some damage. But Mountain's damage nerfs aren't to like 6 or to like his like jab string. He got like nerfs to like heavy stun throw. Uh well, okay. This is a pretty big one. We'll get back to that. He got like damage nerfs to like I think this is like the mountain roller, right? So this is some really irrelevant damage nerfs, right? Like his special throws like does less damage. Like who cares? Like that doesn't fucking matter. And I think like yeah, it's so funny that it's almost like they saw this and they were like, Mountain is an issue. Let's nerf him, but they basically just completely nerf the stuff that is completely irrelevant, which I think is so funny. If like I think like that's like my headcanon, right? This one is actually like kind of relevant. I think this kind of does change the math quite a bit between arcade and PS2 Mountain. Um, in that on arcade he builds no meter for you. Oh no, not at all. He but like in arcade he builds no meter when you like getting hit by success builds no meter, which is a little rough. This at least now gives your opponent like a lot of meter for getting hit by success, right? So I feel like that's an actual real tangible nerf, right? So there's that. But yeah, I thought that was like maybe like a nice addendum. Um, Sorry for being like a fence sitter. If you need me to like make a sensational, controversial statement, I guess my thing is just yeah, Mountain is still again good is maybe like not the best way to put it, but just he's still a character that can win a lot. Let's go with that, right? He's still a strong character. Good maybe is a bit too subjective, but he's I think definitely still strong. I think so. Yeah. But yeah, that's it from me. I guess overall, another like great video from Bumbles, just pushing that MGP2 agenda. So shout outs to them. Original video will be linked in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. So definitely give them the comments and like the likes. I think they deserve at least like that much for pushing the agenda, even if the agenda doesn't fully align with my agenda. But that's neither here nor there. And yeah, hope they keep putting these out because I think that they've certainly taken the MGP2 bill.